Okay, so today I wanted to keep my promise, and I apologize for being late. Normally when my videos go live on Wednesday, it's early in the morning, first thing. A lot of people I know like to watch it as they're going to work or listen as they're going to work, but I got a kind of late start today, but that's okay. This one actually isn't going to be very long. So for some reason, I'm just stuck on things that can block marriage. And as I was making the list, of course, I talked about the incubus and succubus, and I talked about consecrating yourself so that, you know, your area, your circumference isn't drawing things that aren't like God to you and to your life. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the marine spirits. Now I know many people have never heard of this. I'm not going to rehash the whole thing of why, but usually if you're not sitting under someone who understands these spirits, then they have no frame of reference or knowledge to, you know, assist you, help you, or get you to understand what they are. When you're talking about marine spirits, we have to realize that there is actually activity under the sea. Many people aren't aware of that, but it's becoming more and more prevalent, and we just need to be aware so that we can combat it, take it down with fire, authority, and prayer. When I say marine spirits, you're talking about the incubus and succubus spirits that come out of there. Also mermaid spirits and water gods, as they call them, little g gods, right? So, you know, this world is just becoming more and more prevalent with the whole culture of the marine kingdom without fully even realizing that's what they're doing. But let me start by giving you a few scriptures. I wanted to share these things, a few scriptures that mention water spirits, and you can look them up yourself. Ezekiel 29 verses 3-4, Job 34, Revelation 17 verses 1 and 2, Revelations 12 and 12, 1 Samuel 5 and 3, Acts 6 actually mentions the python spirit, which is one of the spirits that, you know, is from the marine kingdom. Isaiah 27 and 1 mentions Leviathan. You know, these scriptures, and I got some of this information that I'm sharing today from Jennifer LeClaire. I love her. I follow her ministry. We're trying to get her at our conference next year, so it's going to be awesome. But I've read a lot of her books. I've been in her courses and under her teaching, and you know, it's just amazing what we don't know until we access information, and then we're like, wow, I didn't even know that, right? You know, like I said, our culture has become so fascinated with this stuff without even fully realizing it. And as I sat and I thought, okay, like in which ways, Lord? And all of these things that I have been exposed to in my life, and maybe some of you have too, just started coming back to my remembrance. So there's just the general fascination with mermaids. So little girls now, they want a mermaid party. And then I was taken back to a movie that I watched a while back, and I mean like 20 plus years ago, called Splash, and Daryl Hannah was in it. And it was supposed to be this guy, I'm trying to remember if it was Tom Hanks or not, who was on a fishing trip or on a boat, and he saw this mermaid and she wanted to be with him or something like that. And she couldn't talk, so every time she opened her mouth, she emitted this crazy sound. Also Ariel, the Little Mermaid, the popularity of that has just been wild and crazy. They have things that they're calling mermaid pillows now with they're sequins, but what it does is the colors are like a fish texture. So it has that rainbowy looking, you know, brush it one way and brush it the other way, and it's a different color. And then I was reminded that Virginia Beach Virginia is considered the Mermaid City, right? So not only is it considered the Mermaid City, but Pharrell Williams, who is from Virginia, just started hosting a conference, a music type conference venue thing, and it's titled Something in the Water. So there's no coincidences between, just the whole fact that it's called the Mermaid City, and then you're naming your festival Something in the Water. I tell people all the time, we like to think that we're thinking up clever ideas, right? So here's where our ideas come from. Our ideas can come from things we see, yes, but our ideas mostly come from God or the enemy. So that's why when people name things, certain things, you have to kind of rewind and see, okay, where are you getting that from? That's why I get so bothered when women who are Christians, they launch a business and they call it diva hair. You need to do a research on what a diva is. They call it goddess nails or goddess lashes. You need to do research on what a goddess is, and if that's something you should be calling yourself or branding your business with, right? So, deliverance is gaining traction in the U.S. There was a time when you hardly ever heard it. In addition to the python, the leviathan, and the sex demons that come out of the water, they're referred to as spirit spouses, but there are also other demons that, they come out, they influence our life. If we're not careful or if we're opening doors, it can be very tricky for us to get free, because a lot of times we don't even know we're being afflicted by these spirits. Now, here's what Jennifer said in her book. Her book is titled The Spiritual Warrior's Guide to Defeating Water Spirits. And her name is Jennifer LeClaire, right? So here's a short excerpt, because I went searching and there was an excerpt in Charisma magazine. It says, marine demons are like venomous jellyfish. They release toxic imaginations as they work to wrap their tentacles around you. The attack can sting your soul or body. If you do not discern the attack quickly enough and sustain multiple stings, it could kill relationships, steal your peace of mind, steal your health, or destroy opportunities that God has planned for you. And that's very accurate, because like I said, I never heard a lot of this stuff until I connected with our apostle, and he's just taught us so much about how this stuff just operates and works. And when you begin to come up against these spirits, it frees up your life in such a way that you're like, wow, what would my life look like if I didn't, heed the warning, or if I didn't even begin doing the research to see if these things are real or if they were operating in my life. Like I said, and I keep saying it, and I'll probably keep saying it, a lot of times we think going to church is enough, sitting on the pew is enough, singing a hymn is enough, but it's not. We have to understand the spirit realm, right? We have to understand that just like the tip of an iceberg, what we're seeing and experiencing in our everyday lives is only a sliver, right? Underneath that water, or underneath, there's so much in the spirit realm that we still need to grasp, that we should be hungering and thirsting, like scripture says, after righteousness, so we can be filled as believers, right? Like I said, the reason why I'm teaching this is because, I have marriage just burning in my spirit. People live, people die, they never marry, and they have no idea that these things are operating in their lives or the lives of the people that we love, right? Like I said, your pastors might not know, and that's why dreams are so important, because even if we're attending a church where they don't know, and I'm not blaming anyone for not knowing. If you don't know, you don't know, but we should always study to broaden our knowledge base. But even if we're sitting under someone who doesn't know, God will give us dreams. So that's why it's so critical to steward our dreams. You don't just have a dream and wake up. You don't just think, oh, I had a dream about a bear. I had a dream about a fish. I had a dream about X, Y, and Z. You don't do that. And a lot of times many people don't want to hear about stuff like this because they don't want to have to do the work. They're like, okay, now there's something else I have to worry about. Well, the enemy is roaring. He's seeking whom he may devour. He's roaming the earth like a roaring lion. And he's not just going to use one tactic. If he uses one tactic and it doesn't work, he'll try and send something else. And when we're unaware or when we're ignorant of a certain thing, or how it operates, then that's a door. That's a license to just go forward and, start messing with our mind. And one of the key things I read from the excerpt of her book is that she said they release toxic imaginations as they work to wrap their tentacles around you. So imaginations, thoughts, workings in the mind, So that's why, we have to stay in prayer. We have to stay consecrated, and we have to break free, right? Here's what else it says. Marine spirits and marine witchcraft, because the spirits, they do the witchcraft. They try to find openings. They try to come in through doors. I've heard in my studies, I've heard testimonies from women who were allowing these spirits to operate through them before they got full deliverance. And they would talk about how they were assigned to specific men. They were assigned to sleep with them, have sex with them, steal their sperm, right? Married men so that their natural wife can't have children. All kinds of things go on in the spirit realm. That's why we have to be so careful. Some of these women operating in this spirit or allowing this spirit to fully use them have been assigned to pastors. So they go into churches, they sit on the front row, they make themselves useful. They say they want to help, and next thing you know, seduction ensues. And it corrupts the ministry of that man or what God has called that man to build. So we have to be aware. We have to be aware. It's not to throw stones. It's not to throw sticks, but it's just to have our spiritual antenna up so that we're aware that these things even exist or that they're going on. Let me just read the excerpt, the other paragraph, so you can have a more cohesive understanding as I close this out. It says marine spirits and marine witchcraft are deceiving, subtle, and at most unrecognizable until one is shown or revealed by the Spirit of God. Marine spirits and witchcraft heavily are used consistently in advancing the methods of enchantment and ensnaring souls. So it's saying that the marine spirits use the marine witchcraft to constantly seduce and advance and entice. That's why everything that looks good isn't good. That's why you can't sit under everyone. That's why you can't go clicking on everyone's live. That's why you can't even go clicking on someone's Facebook or YouTube channel if they don't have a track record of testimony and fruit that they are for the kingdom of God. Anyone can get on a phone or a camera and record something, but you have to be sure of who is pouring into you, because if you don't know, like it said, subtly, and they pride themselves on being unrecognizable, right? So that's the key. The first step is knowing that they exist. I'm going to come back. Because I really don't want these teachings to be super long. I want you, if you have 5 minutes or a 15-minute break, for you to be able to watch something without having to, miss crucial parts of it. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to talk about the different signs and things, what having a marine spirit or being seduced by a marine spirit would look like in your life, and also how to combat it. So if this has been helpful, just give it a thumbs up, give it a like, tag a friend, leave me a comment, because I want to pour out what's helping you. So if it's not helping, then I won't continue. I won't go ahead and share the signs and how to combat it if this is not something that people feel or even sense that they might be dealing with. Some of you have asked me about dreams. Like I said, anything that you're looking for on my channel, you should be able to go to youtube.com and then you type in Miss Princess Dom and then whatever you're looking for. So Miss Princess Dom, dreams, if you want teachings on dreams. Miss Princess Dom, prophet, if you're looking for stuff on being a prophet or the gift of prophecy. Miss Princess Dom, soul ties or marriage, if that's what you're looking for on this channel. So I hope it's been helpful. Do me a favor. I asked last time, I'm going to ask again. We're trying to build a community on Instagram. Please go and like my Instagram page, instagram.com, Miss Princess Dom, and I will see you next time.